Hey everybody, it's your lovely Lotus Blossom Lizzie, and I haven't come on camera on this channel just yet, and I thought today would be a cool day because I'm going to go out to my garden and I'm going to do a few things. Now, usually I just go out throughout the day. I work at home, so I do some work, and then when I want to take a break, I'll go outside, and it has been super rainy outside. So I wouldn't say the garden needs some maintenance or whatever, but I just wanted to kind of show you kind of what I do when I'm kind of taking a break and I'm doing some lazy man gardening. So I'm just going to take you outside. Let's go. So I'm standing here in front of my garage at the moment, which I'm going to be doing a little bit of work in. And I want to say it's a beautiful day out, but I really wouldn't say that that's true. It's very hot and humid. It's been raining for a week, and in a few hours it's probably going to be storming here. So I'm just checking out my boxes that are out front, and I got these boxes from an Etsy shop called Amazing in Wood, and I will put a link in the description. And because these could actually be shipped to you, and they're really nice boxes. They were custom made for me, and I just put some holes in it and dirt, and now it is a vegetable box. So let me show you. So these are the vegetable boxes, and I've shown these in some other videos. And y'all apologize for the shaking in the video, but I think there's something wrong with my camera. And in these days, I can't really go and get it fixed right now. So I'm going to do a tour for the week tomorrow. So I'm not going to go over exactly what's in the boxes and everything. But I have some lettuces in here. Well, actually some kale and some Swiss chard. And they're doing very beautifully. And every day I always come out just to make sure they're not getting too much intense sun. And later on during the day, I'll cover them up with a shade cloth. So they are very beautiful. They're coming along quite nicely. So let me show you. This is the Swiss chard. And when I first put them out, when they were seedlings, they actually got too much sun and I burned some of them up. So you'll see some smaller seedlings in here because I restarted a few. But they look so nice. And then we go over here, give a little bit of a close-up look over here. This is the Swiss chard, and the same thing happened with these. So a lesson that I learned is that seedlings can't take the intense Florida sun. So just as the title implies, I am in Florida, in Central Florida, and it's a subtropical weather here, and so things burn up really easily. So now I'm actually in my garden. I'm standing under, you can see my umbrella here, under one of my umbrellas that's protecting some of my food, because I've learned, not really the hard way, I haven't really killed off too much, but I've learned that the Florida sun is nothing to be reckoned with. It is very hot. That's a lesson that I learned. And even though on the seed packets it may say you can, well, that a plant needs like 8 hours of direct sunlight, it can't take direct sunlight here in Florida. So I had to kind of test and figure out which plants could really take like direct sunlight and which ones benefited from a little bit of shade. So I'll probably do a separate video on some of the creative ways that I've used to shade things. I was really impressed with myself and surprised that I was able to do a garden. Now I wanted to make this video, I wanted to do it for a few reasons. I wanted to show people like my area. I'm in the Orlando area. I'm in Central Florida. It's a subtropical climate. It's very hot. It's very humid here. And also, I wanted to show people that you can get a lot in a small space. I'm impressed by what I've done so far. And I found that I have so much more space to work with. So I've just been dropping seeds everywhere. And whenever, I get a few moments, because y'all know, well, you don't know, but you will. I'm kind of like a lazy man gardener, and I work from home, so when I get tired of doing work in the house, I'll come out here and I'll do a few things, and then I'll go back in the house. So it's all about baby steps, and I'm kind of learning as I go and researching things as I'm planting things. And I'm not just planting things to see if I can grow them. I am planting things I love because I'm vegetarian and I like a lot of different vegetables. I will say there are a few experimental vegetables that I am working with here because I wanted to see if they just taste better coming out of the garden fresh, and then maybe I will like them. So that's where we're at here. I'm going to be doing a garden tour every week, and also this channel I'm sharing with my sister cousin Bobby, and she's the one that actually got me into gardening in the first place. So what we decided to do was to put this channel together, and she can show her progress, which is in Indiana, and it's in zone 5 and I'm in zone 9. So I hope you all will continue to join us. So please make sure you give this video a thumbs up for fantastic small gardening, and also subscribe, because we're going to be posting videos from both areas and maybe some other fun stuff as well. So I've just wanted to kind of just do some things right now, so let's get to it. Yeah, I love coming out looking at these wonderful, marvelous sunflowers. Look at that one, it's so beautiful. I like the way it waves in the wind. And these are getting ready to come out. Fantastic. Look at that one. And I got a sunflower back here. This one just came out. And he's like turned all the way around. I don't know why. The sun's not that way. And I think this one is about to die off, and hopefully it'll get some more heads on it. I don't know. I just like coming out and looking at these. Does anybody else put in the comments if you also just randomly come out and just walk around your garden and just stand and look at things? I need to put a chair out here. Look at my sunflowers with the multiple heads. I didn't even know that that was a thing. And I actually took a twig that I had from a tree that was cut down, and I kind of tied everything together because the heads were getting really heavy, and it was suggested to me to cut these off, the dead heads off, but they are growing flowers on the back like this one. Look at that with Mr. Ant. See, it's right on the back of that head, so I didn't want to cut that off. Now look at my tomatoes. Aren't they beautiful? This plant is loaded. And I'm checking for like leaf spot. You can see some here. And this plant, it doesn't look like it's doing too bad, but that's because I've already pulled out tons of the yellowing leaves. We'll look over here on this one. I can see some, so I'm going to have to take those off. And look at all that leaf miner damage. Those leaf miners are having a party. Look at that. Leaf miners. Got some really good bell peppers going in here. This is my nasturtium plant, and I had 2 of them, but this one is the only one that has made it through the Florida sun, probably because it's partially shaded. And so today I wanted to taste one of these leaves because it is an edible plant, and I took a bite of one and pow, it was like eating some mustard greens with hot sauce on it. It was incredible. I can't wait to get a full crop of those. Hey, one thing that I needed to do was to go into my rain catchment here, which is my rain barrel, which is completely full. So believe me, when I water my plants, I will be using this water, and you can see, y'all see all the little flying mosquitoes in here. So what I got was some mosquito dunks, and I'm trying not to get bit because I don't have on any repellent. Okay, I have the mosquito dunks here, and I have to run and put some mosquito repellent on because this thing had a lot of mosquitoes. So this has been on my to-do list. And I'm not going to worry if they get broken up. I heard like the mosquito like pellets are good too. So I'm thinking even if these were all broken up, it will be okay. So I'm actually probably on 2 is probably enough, but I'm going to 3 in here. And that should kill any mosquito larvae that's in here. And it's also not toxic to your plants or pets, so, or people. So I should be able to still use this water. And although I had a screen on here, which I want to put back, mosquitoes were still able to get through somehow. I don't know. And I put this rain barrel, I put a link to this rain barrel, it's really nice. And I put this where rain comes down mostly off my house. I don't have a gutters or anything, but this is a good spot, and as you can see, it's caught lots of water. So here's where the fun begins. So I've already gone outside and I've kind of done my walkthrough for the day. I also, this morning, I sprayed some of the plants with just soap and water to try to get off any of those unseen little vermin out there that's chomping on my cucumber plant. So now I am doing some real work here. So I am putting some holes into my lovely buckets. So I was able to nab some buckets from Wally World, which I found they have the less expensive ones, but they are same, just a different price. So I picked up a few. I probably should have gotten more because the last few times that I went there, they didn't have any. And so, in this time of crisis, you don't want to keep going to the store, but they also have the least expensive bags of soil that I need, the potting soil. So I like going there, and they really didn't have that many when I went today as well, but I was able to still get a few bags. So this is one of those humongous bags. It's like 40 pounds. So the way that I mix my soil is I put in some potting soil, and then next I took some really, really inexpensive bottom of the barrel topsoil and I put that in. If my property was big enough, maybe I would dig up some soil, but my property is really, really tiny, y'all. And for all the dirt that I've needed for this garden, I would have had a sinkhole here. So I'm putting in some more potting soil because the bag that I had before there was it wasn't a full bag, it was just a used bag. So I'm only going to put a portion of this bag in as well. So right now I just have the potting soil, and I'm putting in some more topsoil. And I use the topsoil to kind of stretch my soil because it can get expensive buying the potting soil. I'm also putting in some garden lime, and y'all, I'm new to doing this, so I'm trying to make sure that my beds are well amended and they have lots of nutrition for my lovely babies. So I'm trying to just put enough nutrients into the soil where everything will grow quite nicely. So I'm also putting in some granulated fertilizer for vegetables. And then I'm going to put in some mushroom compost. And I try to use the mushroom compost in lieu of manure because for me it's just a food friendlier option in my opinion. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. So I'm just going to put a little bit in here. So now I don't really measure anything. I'm just kind of eyeballing things, but I just try to put equal parts of everything in, and then I'm pretty sure I get some nice soil. So far everything has been growing quite nicely, so I think we're okay on all the soil that we've been putting in. So again, I'm putting in a little bit more topsoil because I'm just trying to fill up the cart, y'all, so I can begin the mixing process. Mix, mix, mix. Mix, mix, mix. Mix your soil. Mix your soil. Okay. Time for me to sit down. Y'all, you know, I'm not a young whippersnapper. So I want to replant some plants. These are some okra that I actually planted. Today is May 28th, I think. And I planted this on May 10th. And I already replanted some of the okra ones. But I needed more dirt, which I have now. And then I have some red bell pepper plants, which I planted from some seeds. So I have a bucket over here that already is halfway filled with dirt, so I'm gonna go ahead and fill that up. Y'all don't usually sit down when I'm doing this, but it's just hot as all get out here. And, you know, my sister is conserving some energy. And I learned very early on to do things in a baby step kind of manner, or else you'll just kill yourself. So everything that I've done in my garden, I've done over the course of some months. So I just do a little bit every day. And I didn't want it to become like a job for me. So what I do is, what I intended to do was to make like Saturday like my big out in the garden day. But what I ended up doing is doing a little bit during the week. So I'm gonna split these plants up and be as gentle as I can. Here. This was just a food container that I got something in, because I'm also the queen of saving too much stuff. And I'm just gonna break these apart. I have transplanted some other okras before, but I have not gotten a harvest from okras just yet, because y'all remember this is like my first year. So I'm just showing you what I'm doing at this point and telling you what I'm learning along the way. And then I can tell you about my successes and my messes. So right now, we don't have any that go with the okra plants just yet. But if you're just starting a garden, I say whatever container you can find, use it. But these 5-gallon buckets are definitely a plus. And what I learned is you have to really figure out how big a plant is going to get and how big the root system is going to be. And then you can figure out if you're using too much or too little of your resources. So in this case, I'm going to put some dirt here into another bucket. And you know, I was using like a shovel and all that stuff, but I found the easiest way to do this is just use your hands. Use your hand tools. Well, the fastest way anyway. And I already know I'm going to be super dirty, so that means I'll take a shower when I go in. And I will say, one thing that I learned is that I dirty up a lot of clothes. Being in the garden. And I'm not putting anything else in the soil because I made the soil pretty good. And as you saw, I put some potting soil in, which is probably the most expensive way. And I used some topsoil, which is like the bottom of the barrel dirt, and the cheapest. And I used some mushroom compost. And I know a lot of people use like the black cow manure. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm a vegetarian and I'm not a PETA vegan or anything like that, but I really think about animals. Some people, they just kind of, look y'all, y'all don't judge me, but, and I'm not gonna judge you if you eat meat, that's your preference or whatever, but for me, when I look at homesteaders and stuff, I think it's real cool. They have their farms. And they have they have the agriculture, and they have the livestock and all that stuff. And they make everything sound so nice, and how they feed their chicken, organic stuff, and they give all the animals names, and they love them so much. And then the next week they have killed the chicken and basically murdered the chicken, and the whole family ate them. I don't get that part. How you can love an animal and then murder it. Now, like I said, I'm not judging. Sometimes I eat flesh products, but I'm mostly vegetarian, but it still kind of hurts my heart when I kind of see that, you know. All right, let's get this pepper in here. I think I'm going to name this video Just Another Friday. Just Another Friday, y'all. Alright, so this is a red bell pepper, and I only want half of, no, I'm going to put both of these in here. So let's, you know what, I'm going to take out some of this stuff. It's trash day today. That's the big trash people. I call them the big trash people because they come and they pick up stuff like if somebody put some big furniture and stuff out. Alright, so I got this pot from my neighbor across the street. They were planting something, and I saw them putting these in the trash, and they just moved in too, so they probably think I'm a crazy cat lady or something, even though I don't have any cats. And I was like, hey, I introduced myself and everything, and I said, I saw you putting those plants in, can I have those pots? And they dug them out the trash and gave it to me. I was like, yippee. Y'all just use most of the soil that's already in here. I ain't trying to make this a super duper job. So I'm trying to give each one. Now this is an experiment for me. Now I have one bell pepper plant. Oh, they're real loud. Oh, I'm putting a bicycle in there. Oh, somebody threw away a kid's bicycle. That's sad. Anywho. I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, I have some bell pepper plants, or a bell pepper plant is growing really well, and I've gotten peppers off of it already. And it's growing in a bucket by itself, and it is humongous, and it is just putting some stuff out like nobody's business. Take out a few of the bottom leaves here. And this one has a leaf miner. See, the leaf miner's got my little saplings. I know they're not called saplings, more like seedlings. Alright, so that's two. So I'm going to put together one more bucket, but I'm not going to put anything in it. That's just yet. Where's the other? Oh, I got 2 more to get to. Because I need to empty this. But anyway, like I was saying about the food thing, I'm not a judgy vegan person, but it does hurt my heart about the animals. But anyway, oh, I wanted to tell you all, also in the city, I know there's a place where you can get free compost. There's a few resources that I found, but I can't get to them yet because you know we're in the midst of the virus that shall not be mentioned. And one of them, the city will let you pick up compost. So I've actually been saving my bags from the dirt that I bought, which gives me an idea of how much money I've been spending on this dirt. Because in the end, it is just all dirt. And I'm going to take those bags when I finally get to go and get compost. And another resource is like tree companies. Like they will bring mulch to your house and drop it in your driveway. And it's usually a lot. And they'll do that for free if they're in your area. So I signed up for one of those, but I still haven't got a drop yet. Because y'all plan on covering my whole back and side yards and not have any grass to worry about. Cutting my grass down and putting food there. And I will say that my cousin Bobby and me, we're going to do this garden before everything, you know, the poop hit the fan. And so I already had an idea of what I was going to do before this whole thing started. Ugh. Let's get more dirt. There's a lot of dirt in here. I love this gorilla cart because it holds. I can use it for a number of things. I have some dirt in my car that I have to get out, but I can't get it out until I empty out this cart because I need this cart to roll it. It is heavy. I think the bags are like 40 pounds each, which I got from Walmart for a really good price. If you can get some of your garden supplies from Walmart, that's the place to go. For real. Stuff is cheaper. Cheaper. I love hearing the birds and the rooster and animals and cicadas, and just really nice. Right. This is a beautiful feature of this too. It's like a dump feature, but I'm not dumping it out. Just kind of use dirt. Down the way to reach it. Ooh, a roach came out of there. Know where he went, but I can't let him get me, y'all. He was in my dirt. That's a part of nature I don't enjoy, roaches. I don't know what he would have wanted in this dirt either. I can't sit it down. Ooh, y'all, my allergies. My outdoor allergies are crazy right now. Absolutely crazy. Do y'all suffer with allergies? I'm the type of person that doesn't like to take medications unless I have to. And so I just bought me some boxes of tissue and I've been blowing my nose like crazy. But I noticed that since it's been raining, I haven't really been out for the last few days. And my allergies haven't been that bad. But today, since I've been out, today, it's a whole different story. Okay. That didn't take that long. So that filled up. This is not quite full all the way. The rest of this. bent most of it. You know, all this little dirt counts. Okay. So what I put in here, actually, I filled up about 3 5-gallon pots. Okay, y'all. So I have done all I can do because it's like in the heat of the day. I am under a shade cloth and you can see the sun is still like beating down on me. So I did a few things out here, but now I understand why people don't do a lot in the summertime, because it is just, it's like your body is cooking out here. I don't understand how people sunbathe. I don't. I've been sunburned. I didn't like it. And it's like cooking your meat. And my meat is cooking right now, so. So I'm gonna go back in, but this is just another Friday, and I didn't realize how much noise it is out here until I came out. I guess it's always like that when you are shooting a video. Y'all, I'm so proud of my garden. I just want to walk through it like one more time. I couldn't help myself. I love it. It's getting so lush and green and beautiful. And so I'm gonna go ahead and shove off. Please make sure you give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment with any help on the leaf miners, or if you see me planting something wrong. Remember, y'all, this is my first urban garden. So we'll see you on the garden tour tomorrow. Bye.